Hey, hey, hemp pioneers, good morning. I wanted to put another video up on our training series this morning. I wanted to discuss scheduling and something that I like to call Eat That Frog. So Eat That Frog is an amazing book. If you've never read it, we did it for our Hemp Pioneers book club. If you were a part of that and you got to read it, that's awesome. If you didn't, I recommend it. Huge, huge recommendation. You could grab it right now on Amazon. In fact, I will drop a link below. Let me make sure it's still on Amazon. Yeah, it's still there. So Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. I will drop a link in our group. Basically, you know, especially with network marketing, right? Because for most of you, this is a side gig. So about, I would say 85% of people that start up a network marketing business are doing this on the side as a side gig. And when you have a side gig, it never really, it never really gets the attention that your daytime job gets, right? The problem there is that you want it to take over your daytime job, right? So putting in the effort is what's going to get that. And you have to a lot of times do that in conjunction with everything else you have going on in your life, right? So some of us are parents, some of us are single parents, some of us have full-time jobs, some of us have, people, parents we're taking care of, or people in our lives that are sick that you're taking care of. So we all have something else going on that always seems to take priority. And the reason that it takes priority is because we also feel that, you know, whatever we have going on for ourselves gets last precedence. You ever notice that? It's an interesting thing. Women especially, men, I think it's a little different for you guys. You guys tend to think of yourselves first. No, but in all honesty, as a human race, it's really kind, but we tend to think of and nurture other people before ourselves, for the most part. And especially here, being that network marketing is a company, is a business and an industry that's really run by women, right? There's so many women in this industry. That's really prevalent. For the men that are here, I feel like it's an easier task because they're very business minded in terms of they know what they have to get done and they do it. Whereas women are like, okay, I'll get that done after I do this for him, do that for her, cook dinner, get the bed made, pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of the differences in how we work. Eat That Frog is about every single day waking up and listing the things that you really need to get done that day, in an order, okay? The things that you absolutely do not want to do and really hate to do go first on that list. And then the stuff that you don't really mind doing, but you need to get done anyway, that goes down further on the list. The reason why is that they say that if you tackle in the first 5 minutes of waking up something that you really don't want to do that day, it changes your whole day. And I know that to be true because I'll tell you what, it's kind of funny. As a single mom, I'm going to put it out there, single mom of 3 children for a very long time. There's been times where I didn't have the financial means to pay all my bills or to get something done. And I always like to call it adulting, right? We joke around, but these were basic needs sometimes that I remember when I was paying my electric bill, being so proud of myself that, wow, Jamie, you paid your electric bill on your own. That's a big deal, and you did it on time, and you procrastinated, and it feels crappy to have to be responsible. But I woke up and was like, I got to get that done. It has to get done today. Car insurance has to get done today. That's not like a negotiable, right? So after I did it, even though before I did it, I was like, oh my God, like hemming and hawing, and I don't really want to call it in, and I'm kind of tight with money this week, right? Even all of that, it was horrible. The second I made that payment, I had a new respect for myself. I had a new outlook on things, right? The second I handled something that I didn't want to handle, I felt stronger. I felt more confident. I felt more secure. I felt like I could do anything after paying my electric bill. And it sounds so silly, and it sounds so, ridiculous to think. But if you could think back to a time where you did something that you really did not want to do, and even if while you were doing it, it sucked, okay? Like, let's say for those of you that started running, okay, and you were like, I'm never going to be able to do this. And then your first run, you're like, oh my God, this really is harder than I thought it would be. After that feeling right after is like, wow, I just did that. Okay, so that is the premise of Eat That Frog. And that is how I do the stuff that I don't want to do a lot of times. And there's a lot of it. So, I feel like a lot of times people that are new to the team or new to the business look at somebody like me or somebody that's been in the business for a while, somebody like Val, right? Or even somebody that has no experience network marketing but has been here for a while. We look at Ann Hack. Okay, she's a perfect example. And Ann always looks like she has it together. She's always doing her stuff. She's always doing her videos. She's always being consistent about being out there and visual, being able to be seen by her team, right? And those things are very important. However, there's a ton of things on Ann's plate that she does not want to do, that she cannot stand doing, and that I am constantly having to be like, nudging her, right, to do. You guys don't get to see the back end of that. Well, guess what? I have that too. I have that, oh God, I got to call this person, and either A, I don't really like them, or B, they kind of intimidate me, or yeah, I get intimidated too. Or C, I just don't feel a connection with them and it's hard for me to get on the phone with them, or D, they're going to keep me on the phone for way longer than I want to be on the phone, whatever, right? Things like that. Or going to do an event that maybe it's on a day where I have something else to do with my kids, or being up late for a training, or getting on a three-way call for somebody on the team that, sometimes I'm just done talking. Okay. I talk all day to customers, to new people, to teammates, to my kids, to everybody all day long. And by the end of the night, sometimes I don't want to hear my voice anymore. Okay. So, those things that I don't want to do are the things that I try to hustle in the morning, or hustle the first time I get some free time to do first. Okay. I like to put them in something else, which is another tool called the Power Hour. So listen, I get it. We all have busy lives. And if you only have an hour a day or 2 hours a day to give to this business, you have to make the most out of that time, right? You have to make the most out of that 2 hours. So, or that 1 hour. I tell people all the time, stop taking an hour at a time if you can't. Take 15 minutes, wake up 15 minutes earlier, okay? Spend 15 minutes during your lunch hour, 15 minutes when you're sitting on the toilet and you're scrolling through Facebook, and stay up 15 minutes later. And there's a whole extra hour I just found in my day to run my business. It's amazing what you can get done in 4 15-minute intervals. I could do a 3-way call. I could probably knock out 2 3-way calls in 2 15-minute intervals, right? I can, in 15 minutes, I can message like 20 people on Facebook. In 15 minutes, I can text message leads. In 15 minutes, I can, send a note to all my customers and see how they're doing on their CBD. There are 1,000 things I could do with 15 minutes. I'm not spending my 15 minutes studying and knowing everything about CBD. I'm not doing that. You guys would be surprised to hear that. Maybe it'll shock you all. It's not happening. The reason I know so much about CBD is because my ears are open. I'm constantly listening. I'm constantly, picking out topics here or there to read up on. I don't know all there is to know about how it works with every single bodily function that we have. I really don't. You know why? Because it's not important. What's important to me is that I know that it works. I know why it works, the basics of why it works and how it works. I know what our product has in it, okay? And along the way, I have picked up tidbits and bits and pieces, but you will never see me, ripping apart all of this research, because it's impossible for me. It's just not the way I learn. What I want to do with my time is I want to maximize it. So if you have that hour, write down the 4 things that you need to get done that day. I'm going to make a really cool, I used to have it with my last business and I want to do it again. It was kind of cool because we did it as a team, like a get together, and maybe we could figure that out in May sometime. But basically I had a Monday through Friday board, okay? And it would tell you kind of like, I picked 5 tasks on Monday and it had like Velcro and you were able to move like remember the calendars when we were in like preschool? I love that thing. I used to be so excited when I was like the calendar girl. But you can move the tasks to what you want to do that week, right? I mean, everybody should be working from an organized schedule. And here's the thing, I can almost guarantee you that I'm going to say 90% of you, 90% of you do not write down a schedule for this job. This is a job. If you want to make money here, you need to start looking at this as a job. Sorry, my hair's a little crazy. And if you don't have it scheduled into your day as such, it's really not going to happen because life happens. You know, the kids happen, your other job happens, your spouse happens, the bills get paid, the sports come home, the whatever it is, like other stuff is going on. If you don't have it in there for yourself and you don't have that time carved out for yourself, it usually doesn't happen. So eat that frog, okay? Power Hour, 2 of my most important tools to getting stuff done. If you are watching these videos and you're saying, oh my God, that's great, I got so much out of it, and you're not implementing them into your life, you're missing the boat. You are missing the boat because somebody else is catching on to this and saying, oh my God, that's a great idea because that's what I did. I heard this 10 years ago. And 10 years ago is how I started this, okay? So don't just listen and think it's amazing. Listen and do it. Have an amazing day, guys.